Father, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you all doing?
We're doing good. Thanks for getting up early in LA. You know, Bishop is a big fan of LA.
Yeah, well, it's funny. You were talking about raining. It's raining here in LA too. I
Oh,
first got to LA 8 years ago, and it was in the middle of a drought. And then the first time, and I was just like, oh wow, this is why they called it Golden State, because everything was like, dried out or just kind of brownish. And then when it rained, I was like, oh, I didn't know all this stuff was supposed to be green. So,
I thought the
we
song. I thought the song went. It never rains in California. Oh well.
You know what? For a period of time, we were really lacking water. I mean, it was getting pretty bad, but the last year
I remember hearing about
it's
that.
been
Yeah.
coming down.
Good. So, Father, tell us about Father Bud and Hollywood Priest.
Sure, sure. Many of your viewers might remember an old television show called Insights that ran on television, typically on like Sunday mornings from in the 1960s, 1970s, and even into a touch of the 1980s. And it was this kind of like spiritual twilight zone where every episode would have some kind of moral theme or spiritual theme. And but the Father Bud was the producer of that. He came to Los Angeles in 1957 as a strapping new ordained Paulist priest, and he was at this parish in Westwood, Los Angeles, and it's where all the actors and producers went. And the producer of the Leave It to Beaver show said to Father Bud, your homilies are really good. We should find a way to get them on television. And then out of that, uh, Father Bud was able to attract all these Hollywood celebrities and Hollywood writers and all these people to really do this television ministry that ran for, it ran for 23 years. And I still have people coming up to me today who remember the old television show Insight, and that's how Father Bud got started.
Father Tom, I have to ask you because those were different days, a different time in Hollywood and in the world. But how has the life and the ministry of Father Butt affected you personally and as a priest?
Yeah, I think he's really inspiring because the way I got into the story is I was just moving to Los Angeles. I was ordained in 2012, and I was working on a documentary about our founder of the Paulist Fathers, Father Isaac Hecker. And I was finishing that up, and just as a little Boston area, Massachusetts area shout out, Isaac Hecker was originally a New England transcendentalist. So when I was working on that documentary, I got to spend a lot of time in Concord and Boston and all that, really tracing Isaac Hecker's story. And when I was finishing that documentary up, I was being transferred to Los Angeles, and I went on. Even though I'm a Paulist, I have a lot of Jesuit background. I went to a Jesuit college. So I said, I've never done the 30-day Ignatian retreat. And so usually when I do a retreat, I like to bring another book along with me that's maybe a little bit of a break from all the spiritual exercises and stuff. So I brought Father Bud's autobiography, and knowing I was going to go into Los Angeles, and he talked about his Los Angeles experience. And what inspired me was I've always been interested in media and communications, but later in Father Bud's life, he really got involved with Catholic Relief Services. And I used to work before I was a priest at Catholic Relief Services in Baltimore. And I really loved how Father Bud was able to, throughout his career, but definitely in the later part of his life, integrate his love for the poor with his media work. And I just found that very inspirational.
I've been here a long time, Father. This is going to probably surprise you a bit. And during the 80s, while I was here, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
we played Insights here on Catholic TV in the 80s.
You probably did. No, and the funny thing is, I mean, I was born in 1972, and I had never seen the show. And there was a lot of people who would come up to me and talk to me about the show, and I was like, "What show is this?" And I realized, oh, wait a minute, the show was distributed through public access. Like every television station, when TV got started, was required to devote part of its broadcasting time to to
Public
programming that would
service.
benefit the public good. And that's how Father Bud was able to distribute insight. He would go to stations around the country and say, "Hey, I got this TV show that'll fit right in with what you need to broadcast. It's got Hollywood actors. It's got all these great people. It had Catholic themes in it, but it was a show for everybody.
Mm.
But I realized, oh, one of the reasons I never saw the show is because if you went to church on Sunday morning, that's usually when the show ran. So
Yeah.
that's how it's like that. And the interesting thing about Father Bud is he was doing it during a very unique time, because people would say, "Oh, it's only on Sunday mornings," but like, yeah, but there was only 4 channels, so if you turn on the TV, you had a 25% chance of seeing Father Bud and his stories. So I mean, unlike now where there's just hundreds of channels plus YouTube plus streaming, it's so he was in a very unique time that he was really able to take advantage of.
And what can ordinary Catholics, those of us sitting in the living room here and those watching on Catholic TV right now, what can they take from the life and the ministry of Father Bud Keiser?
I think there's like two things. Is one, our community has always been very passionate about evangelization and using the modern means of evangelization. So when Father Bud really took advantage of the tools that were made available to him and the people that were made available to him at his parish. And we see it right now, just being on Catholic TV out in New England. What you all are doing. There's and so it's always to try to keep that, like, what are the new technologies out there to get the good news out? And I think Father Bud did that. And it's not going to look the same as Father Bud. It's going to look different, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we need to be doing now? And I think the other thing is he always kept himself grounded in the issues of the poor and the issues of justice. And I think that was always something that kind of helped really ground his faith, because I think sometimes when we're in media, we can get so carried away with everything being about media that I know I take away, and I think a lot of us can take away, is always kind of there was kind of an old saying that we used to have, that old saying, "There's no salvation without the church." And Father Bud really realized that in many ways he experienced that there was for him, no salvation without the poor. And how are we reaching out to the poor, and how are we interacting with the poor in our lives? And I think that's also a really strong part of his legacy.
Well, Father, how can people see Hollywood Priest, the story of Father Bud Keiser, and find out more information?
Sure, we are really excited because it is Hollywood Priest is going to be broadcast nationally through American Public Television on PBS starting in May. So we're really excited that we're getting this national broadcast. We had our initial broadcast on Los Angeles PBS. And people just responded to it really well. We got an Emmy nomination. So, but if they want more information, they can visit HollywoodPriest.com. But look for your local listings starting May 1st as to when it's going to be broadcast nationally.
Father, thanks so much for being with us today, and have a great day.
Great. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you.